I did a draft with academic All-Americans. First, I went off the academic All-District team presented by the College Sports Communicators. I think when you consider intelligence, that's an intangible trait that's hard to measure. I think if you are someone who is willing to be coached, willing to be taught, I think that can make up for a lot of things. And as well as if you're studious and you're willing to study film, you can then have that football IQ if you don't already have it. Put those two things together, then I think those are two traits that you can't really measure, or maybe you can based on mistakes or penalties or errors. If you want to measure those things, that probably represents your football IQ. I know a lot of people are all into the measurables, 40-time bench press. Really, those things are just a small piece of the overall pie that makes up a football player. And if I were to put a certain percentage on football intelligence, football IQ, the studiousness that is required to play the game, I'd probably put that in like at least 25% of what it takes to be a good football player. First round I went with Carson Schwesinger from UCLA. He has a 3.72 GPA, majored in bioengineering. He's 6'2", 225. The combine, he bench pressed 225 20 times. He had a vertical of 39.5, which is up there. I believe that's all the pro day measurables that he took part in. He has an 81 next gen stats grade on NFL.com. In round two, I took Quishon Judkins. He was a second team All-American at Ohio State. Quishon Judkins finishing about third best out of the combine. He had a 38.5 vert, 11.9 broad, 4.40. Judkins doesn't seem to provide much in the pass catching realm. He only had 167 yards receiving and only a 32.7 pass block grade. In terms of rushing, he had 43 avoided tackles, 587 yards after contact, 28 explosive plays, 58 first downs, 72.5 pass route grade, 22 receptions, 26 targets, 14 touchdowns, and a 3.0 yards after contact per attempt. Quishon was a transfer out of Mississippi. He was a third-team All-Big Ten Conference, academic All-District, first-team All-Sec, athletic director's honor roll. In round three, I selected Gunnar Helm. Wasn't on any of the first or second teams, but was a academic All-Big 12 first team in 2022, named to 2023 academic All-Big 12 second team, and academic All-Big 12 in 2021. Five-time member of the Big 12 Commissioners honor roll. According to my calculations, Gunnar is the 37th best athletic tight end. It is a 30-inch vert, 4.840, 4.4 shuttle, 7.23 cone. He's pretty shifty. And of course, he's big at 6'5", 250-ish. Round four, I selected Kandra out of Cincinnati. For my calculation, he's the 34th best offensive lineman in terms of athleticism. 32.5-inch vert, 9.42 broad, 5'140", 4.7 shuttle, and 8.33 cone, and 33 times bench press. He made the second team all-academic team with a 3.6 GPA and majored in business administration. He is the 11th best lineman, according to my calculation, in terms of production. Only allowed -1 points per game, 76 overall offensive grade, 84 pass block grade, 74 run block grade, 7 hurries allowed all season, 99.1 pass block efficiency grade, only 1 penalty, 8 pressures, and played 803 blocking snaps. Next, I selected edge out of Notre Dame, RJ Oben. This was kind of an accident, but looking at his profile, he's an economics major, a graduate student, and his father played 12 years as an offensive tackle with the Giants, Cleveland Browns, and Tampa Bay Bucks and Chargers. He started on the Buccaneers Super Bowl 37 championship team, and his mother played volleyball at New York University. Notre Dame, he had 1 sack, 15 tackles, 13 stops, and in the 3 years prior to that, playing with Duke, he had around 5 sacks per year. In terms of athleticism score, he is up there with Savion Jones, plus to Landon Jackson. He had a 26 bench press, 32.5-inch vert, 9.5 broad, 4.940, 4.6 shuttle, and a 6.95. Very shifty. Straight line speed is not great. Strong. Next, I selected Dean Clark out of Fresno State in round 6. Safety. In terms of athleticism, he's second best. He had a 19 bench press, 41-inch vert, 11-inch broad, 4.40, 4.13 shuttle. Dean was not first or second team all-academic, but he was CSC academic all-district, academic all-Mountain West. He wore the helmet communication for the Bulldog defense. He had 63 tackles on the year, 34 solo, 3.5 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, 1 interception, 3 quarterback hurries, and 5 pass breakups. In terms of athleticism scores, kind of around the area with Will Shepard, Theo Weiss, Kobe Hudson, Kyle Williams. He had a 36-inch vert, 10.5 broad jump, 4.640, 6'1", 184 pounds. He was first team all-academic team. He became the second UNLV wide receiver to appear on that team in history since 1981. Shattered a 4-decade old school record for receiving yards in a season and tied the UNLV mark for receptions in the season with 88. First Rebel ever to post 5 consecutive games with at least 100 receiving yards. 7 100-yard games on the year, ranked second in school history. He had 1,000 yards in his last 2 seasons, plus around a 63% reception percentage or better. Average depth of target is around 12. 7 drops this past year, 8.2% drop percentage, 9 of 23 uncontested catches, 39%. 3 interceptions, 1 fumble, 23 missed tackles force, 51 first downs, 108 passer rate, 5 penalties. Round 6, I went with Ty Robinson. Wasn't on the first or second team, but majored in nutrition and health science. He was 5-time Nebraska Scholar Athlete Honor Roll. Honor Roll mentioned All Big Ten in 2023, second team All Big Ten in 2024, third team All Big Ten 20. Started all 13 games as a senior, increasing his career total to 60 games played, which is tied the Nebraska record for games played. 37 tackles, 12 tackles for loss, 7 sacks, all of which were career highs, with 4 pass breakups, 1 block field goal, and 1 safety. He led Nebraska in tackles for loss and sacks, ranked third in breakups. In terms of athleticism, I have him around Omar Noman Law area, TJ Sanders. He had a 33.5-inch vert, 9.3 bod, 4.840, 4.34 shuttle, 7.58 3 cone. In terms, I went with Teddye Buchanan, linebacker out of Cal, transferred from UC Davis. He had 11 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, and 1 forced fumble, and a pair of QB hurries. Played quarterback in high school at St. Ignatius Prep, but he moved to outside linebacker after suffering a broken thumb as a junior. He was first team All ACC as a linebacker. He was Big Sky All Academic in 2022 and 23. In terms of athleticism, I have him as 7th best. He had 26 times on the bench, 40-inch vert, and 4.2 broad, and was a captain for UC Davis. And lastly, I chose Felton, wide receiver at Virginia Tech. Daquan was a major in psychology. His father is a former Norfolk State tight end. His cousin Chiron Stith was a standout at Virginia Tech who played with the Jaguars and Colts in the NFL. He had 38 receptions for 667 yards and 8 touchdowns. He is 6'5", 216 pounds. In terms of athleticism, he's around the Brock Taylor, Trayshawn Holden, Jacoby George area. He had 16 times bench press, 32.5-inch vert, 10.1 broad, 4.5 40, and a 7.13 cone.